Cruise news time. Well, we've got something unprecedented going on. We have a cruise company that's going to do 2 world cruises at the same time. It's never been done. Also, Delta is causing new travel restrictions that will affect U.S. cruisers both at home and abroad. And there's a lot of other cruise news. Cruise news. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Lido, Loca. I'm your host, Tony, here with the latest cruise news updates. Well, let's talk about something that has never happened before in the history of cruising. We have a cruise line out there that is going to be offering 2 world cruises at the same time. Well, it's Viking Ocean. How about that? Viking announced 2 world cruises that will sail within the same year. That's a first for the cruise line. These cruises will be kicking off at the end of 2023 in December. Starting on December 20th, the Viking Sky will take off. And then on the 23rd, the Viking Neptune will take off. They're going to leave from down here in Florida, and they will follow the same 28-country, 57-port itinerary, going to places like Australia, Vietnam, Singapore, India, Turkey, Hawaii. Prices start at $55,000 per person, but these are for a 138-day cruise. So imagine that. They'll be leaving, and then one ship will get there, they'll leave, and then they'll go, and then the next ship will get there a few days later. The reason they're doing it is they sold out their last world cruises in 2021 and 2022 in record time, and so they believe that the demand is there. Good on them, right? That's an easy way to pull your money together instead of a bunch of how many weeks? 138 days, 7 days in a week. That's like 20 weeks, right? And so imagine, I don't know. I mean, I guess you're getting a discount on this because if you paid $5,000 for a week on Viking Ocean, which was probably easy to do because they're nice. Yeah, so it's cheaper. If you got 138 days, it seems like it's cheaper to lay out the $55,000 than going on a week by week. But it'll be interesting. I'm assuming you can book parts of this leg, go to some of your favorite locations. Viking Ocean, one of those high-end premium cruise lines, all-inclusive, but unprecedented. They're going to bank on a lot of people wanting to go cruising for 138 days at a time. Could you be on a cruise ship that long if you had the scratch? So let's play perfect world, utopia. You don't have any restrictions of your time off. You got unlimited funds. Could you spend 138 days on a cruise ship? Leave a comment below. Swinging back around to the hurricane conversation yesterday, I do want to follow up a little more about New Orleans, but I also want to tell you guys about Hurricane Nora that was happening over on the West Coast. The Carnival Panorama sailing over there on the West Coast has switched up its itineraries. They were planning on going to Puerto Vallarta, Mazatlan. They're planning to go to Cabo San Lucas because of the damage done by this hurricane. They've canceled the Mazatlan stop, and they also added a call at Ensenada, and they've done away with Puerto Vallarta and added 2 different sea days to that cruise. So we talked about it yesterday. Cruise lines know how to deal with hurricanes, and one of those things is itinerary change. And for people on the Carnival Panorama for this August 28th sailing, a whole bunch has just gotten switched up. Again, the same thing that we were saying for people in the path of Hurricane Ida. Hopefully these people are able to recover, and our thoughts and prayers go out to people affected by the hurricane. One thing still affected by the hurricane is the electricity in New Orleans, and this is significant. Carnival plans to restart their cruising from New Orleans on September the 5th in just a few days, but officials there in New Orleans, they're saying that they are not sure when power will be restored. They're saying it may even take 4 days to go out there and figure out what they have to do to get power restored. And so haven't heard anything officially from Carnival yet. We know that there are some customers that have been moving around their Carnival Glory on September the 5th cruise, but no official cancellation. At least I haven't seen it. So I'm throwing it out there. Are you scheduled to cruise out of New Orleans on September the 5th? Have you heard anything? But it sounds like the power is out, and it's going to be out for a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Now we're going to talk about a couple changes that have happened because of the Delta variant that's causing some challenges for people that are cruising from the U.S. and people that are cruising locally in the U.S. But I do have a quick Disney story. And before I get to all of those things, let me quickly invite you to subscribe. If you like staying up to date with everything that's going on in cruising, please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. That way you don't miss out on any of these episodes. Doesn't cost anything, helps us out. Thank you in advance. All right. Can I shoehorn a little bit of a rant in here? I hear a lot of people pushing back. Somebody yesterday called me a government shill. Do I like the American government? Yeah. Yeah, I believe in the United States. I believe in the promise of the United States. I believe that the government, the system of government that we have here was put in place to promote freedom. It was put in place to promote progress through nonviolence, progress through discourse, progress through a checks and balances system that allows us to grow as a nation, where people from diverse backgrounds, diverse ideologies can come together and form a better nation. Is it always pretty? Is it always easy? Does everything always happen correctly? No. But have the checks and balances held us together, and have we progressed as a nation? Yes. And I believe in that system. So does that make me a government shill? I guess. But yes, I do believe in the American system. I do believe in the American dream. And while flawed and not perfect, it's one of the best. It's one of the best. This is one of the freest places you can be in the world. And where your voice can be heard, and where discourse can move the line forward when it comes to progress. So yeah, I'm not ashamed of that. There you go. All right, here's the quick Disney story. Look, I'm not one to really throw out discount talk, but since this is Disney and it's traditionally expensive, I did want to throw this out. Disney is offering 25% off of the veranda category for select fall cruises from Port Canaveral. That's open to everybody. It's only for new bookings, so if you're already booked, you're not going to be able to go in and get this discount. And then they're also having a 30% off sale for Florida residents for cruises from Port Canaveral in October and November. Again, I'm not pushing this as a cruise line. I just want to put it out there because there's a lot of people always talking about wanting to cruise Disney, but it's so expensive. Best thing to do is work with your travel agent, or if you don't have one of those, reach out to Disney and see if you can get one of these discounts if you are wanting to do that in the fall. Moving on, let's talk about a cruise port that has decided not to welcome any cruise passengers this year, and it's a U.S. cruise port. It's the port of Santa Barbara. They have voted to not receive cruise ships until the year 2022, until next year. I didn't even realize that Santa Barbara had a terminal. I didn't realize that they were doing cruising out of there, but sure enough, Holland America Koningsdam was set to restart cruising from Santa Barbara this year. They're going to have to move that to next year. And then also Royal Caribbean Radiance of the Seas, they had stops planned for Santa Barbara. They will have to move those. The folks in Santa Barbara citing health and safety concerns as the reason. They want the cruise restart to go a little forward to see how it all works out. So that probably will affect some people on the West Coast. If you were affected by this Santa Barbara change, leave a comment below. And as I mentioned in the intro, we would touch on restrictions both for domestic ports but also for international ports. Yesterday, the U.S. was removed from the safe travel list for the Schengen countries, the EU countries. These countries include Italy and France and almost everything in Europe other than, say, like the UK, but the Schengen countries, like 26 nations. They've removed the U.S. from the safe travel list. Now, this removal doesn't automatically mean that U.S. citizens cannot travel to those countries, but it does allow those countries to set stricter restrictions on U.S. passengers coming to those countries. Some countries may just completely restrict U.S. passengers. Some countries may add layers of protocol, may require a vaccine, those kind of things. This is the beginning of this. When you were on the safe travels list, it was pretty wide open. Now that we're not on the safe travels list, it could become more difficult for U.S. citizens to travel to Europe by air, and of course that will affect cruisers. I know a lot of cruisers that were flying over to Greece or flying over to Italy to jump on a cruise. So this is something, hey, you got to pay attention to what's going on. If you're booked for international travel, if you're trying to take an international cruise, you better check with the country that you're flying into to make sure that your protocols have not changed. I feel like it's a good time to have the public service announcement. Guess what? If you're cruising right now, most likely you'll have to wear a mask and take a test before you go to the cruise port. Tell somebody that you know that's cruising so everybody is in the know. That's the end of the public service announcement. And boom, that's your cruise news. Let me kick it over to you. What do you think about these stories? Anything a shocker? Again, I'm interested to see if you had the jack. Would you book this world cruise? Could you stay 138 days on a cruise ship? Anything else you want to talk about in the comments, leave a comment below. Thanks so much for checking out the show today. And look, I hear you. A lot of you were bummed out that I didn't arbitrarily threaten you to hit the like button yesterday. So yeah, I'll do it today. Hit the like button, or you have to do write-ups. You have to write 1,500 times. I will hit the like button because Tony's a great guy. And then you have to send that to me, and you have to do it on wide paper. You can't get away with it. This is Tony with Lido Loca. Until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.